You know why we here. Let's watch this footage you've probably seen already.
I'm black. No black people. Nobody gives a out there. Kill that. How? Either you got a good business or you don't. All that. Nobody want to hear that. That's a hustle. Support me because I got a black business. Is your restaurant clean? Is the food good? Do you got consistent cooks? Is the material good? Come on. Stop doing that. Oh, you support the white people. No, I support consistency, baby. Yeah, man. Fuck what color you is. I'm spending my money. That paper, I'm going to spend the millions where the I want to spend it at. Brothers, Porsche, Ferrari, I'm going to do what the I want to do while I'm here. But I'm going to tell you one thing, I ain't going to be finessed off some black shit. But one thing about it, 70% of you is not going to make it. I'm not no motivational speaker that talk this dumb shit. I'm the number one in the country. You know why? Y'all seen me come out of the penitentiary. I made millions, and I made millionaires, baby. You understand? I come from the...
Later in the video, we're going to get in depth about my personal beliefs, but let's just address some of the things that he said, and I'm going to let you know where I stand on some of the things that he said before we get to my personal beliefs, which technically it's all my personal beliefs, but giving more context. But one of the first things he said was people basically try to get support for their business because they're black. His response to that is nobody gives a F. Either you got a good business or you don't. He's getting a lot of backlash. I don't see the reason for that backlash because when it comes down to it, if you look at any successful black entrepreneur, anybody from Tyler Perry to the dude who do what is that? Bevel, things like that. They didn't get where they're at because people supported them strictly because they're black. They got there because they gave exceptional value to their black customers. Exceptional value to their black customers. And even then, some people outside of the black community ended up liking what they were doing. And even then, what he said is the ultimate truth. Because if it was true, there would be some businesses that would be successful just because somebody black is doing it. That would be the key basis of it being successful. Because if we are being completely honest, the basis that most people, not just black people, the basis that most people spend their money on is a selfish basis. What they want. Not how can I help this person, but what do I get out of it? I want to buy what I want to buy, what I like, etc., etc. That is how people work. They do not care about support, which I'll break down a little bit later. Now, his rebuttal to, but you spend with the white people is ultimately what I just said when it comes to, how people actually spend their money. And I'm talking about everybody around the planet. He said, I buy consistency. I go with consistency. I don't care about color. Basically, I'm going to buy what I want to buy. And that's how people work. Even him saying, I'm not going to be hustled on some support black business just because it's black stuff, and basically saying that's a hustle. It is to an extent. I'll come back to that in a moment. Because one of the things that he said was, do you got cooks? Is your business good? Is it functional? Do you got everything down? X, Y, Z. Is it top? Is it quality? Are you on point? Is the customer service good? Et cetera, et cetera. So all of that stuff, right? That goes for any business, like literally any business. You go and you look, bruh, come on, man. It goes for any business. Now, mixing this with the last thing as far as a hustle. This is how this works. And this is something that nobody doing all these videos and rebuttals is going to address. Years ago, I'm talking about 2018-ish, 17-ish, somewhere in that ballpark. Just Hilarious got online because she just came out of a fish spot and said, see, this is why I don't support black business. Because I went and got this fish. I asked them for some coleslaw. They ain't put no coleslaw on my tray. They ain't give me no napkins. The food nasty. And, It's cold. I ordered it fresh there. Listen, she complained about the service and she didn't get everything she had ordered and paid for. So that was her main gripe. What did black people do? What did black people do when they heard her say, this is why I don't support black business? Just like Wallo, they got on her. But this is the thing. Wallo is just talking. She actually had a bad experience. She actually had a bad experience at a bad business. And what did black people do? They chastised her for cutting down a bad black business, giving them bad press because she's an internet celebrity. So her name does hold weight. I don't think she even said the name of the spot, but they know who she was as far as the people where she came from. Like they know they messed up. But they also said, oh man, you need to give them some grace, give them a chance, da 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 da. And I'm gonna mix this with something. I like Tariq Nasheed, but Tariq Nasheed said, about Wallo, oh yeah, you being extra critical about these, black businesses, but y'all don't be critical about white businesses. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. And I'm gonna break that down a little bit in a moment. I could really go deep about this because on one hand, I know the truth. The truth is, when you look at certain businesses like H&M or Gucci that disrespect us, the product is so, like, just the value to black people is so high, is so potent to black people that those companies could do us wrong and people still support those companies. But did you hear what I said? I said the value to black people. So again, selfishly, they want the value that these people provide. They are still willing to give their money to these people because they're going to disassociate the disrespect from being personal so that they can still be a consumer. But on the other hand, there are tons of local white businesses in every area that have some bad customer service and will give a black person some bad customer service. And guess what? That black person might do two things. Not one, but two. They're going to do at least one of them. Number one, they're going to stop patronizing that white business. The second thing is they might get on social media and bash that business. We have something going viral right now, right? We have something going viral right now. I'm about to play the video.
I want everybody to hear this now. This lovely couple has ordered $137
which we order all the time, food all
for
the
the
time.
45 minutes they've been here, and they are refusing to pay.
My wife ordered the pork chops that were cooked too hard.
We said we didn't get the pork chops that is on there. Call the police up here.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We
'Cause
never
you ain't
said we
something
wanted to
now.
get her. Oh, our money's
So
gone.
I want everybody to hear
My
this.
husband is a disabled veteran. He works a job as well. We got plenty of money. We're not refusing to pay.
Listen.
We said we are refusing to pay for the pork chops we never got.
Yeah, that's basically the exchange. It goes longer than that, but listen, he got cooked for it by black people. Guess what? They went and blew Yelp up. They shut Yelp down. I never seen this. When you open up the business page on Yelp, it gives you that public attention alert. So yeah, they lit this up. So I don't want to hear that we give white businesses grace because we don't. If the business is bad, if we have a bad experience, just like if anybody else of any other race has a bad experience at a business, they're going to stop fucking with it. Now, when you start talking about corporations like Walmart or Target or like, I mentioned H&M and Gucci, they're way more powerful than a mom and pop shop or a local business or anything like that. And those are the only people screaming support black business. Like Tyler Perry don't need to say that because guess what? His shit is so valuable, then white women is going to go and see the fucking movie. A tremendous amount of black women is going to support him regardless, but it's that they not supporting him because, oh, we got to support him. They love what he is doing with every fiber of their soul. And guess what? Women of other races love it too. But going back to the hustle point, when Just Hilarious said that, like, everybody, even black business owners coming out like, y'all got to give us grace. and y'all got to still support us while we figure it out. We got to support you while you figure it out. Motherfucker, you shouldn't be going into business if you don't got it figured out enough to where you could give a motherfucker some napkins and the coleslaw that they fucking asked for. The other thing he said, 70% of businesses, like, they fail and stuff like that. So I'm saying 70% of y'all not going to make it. It's true. It's true. It's statistically true. I'm not even about to look up the statistics. If you think it's wrong or anything like that, I guarantee you the majority of businesses fail, especially within the first 5 years. That is a stat that I'm aware of. I just can't remember the number. I'm done breaking down what he said. We're going to get how I feel in general when it comes to supporting black business. So when we look at that, I really don't think that there's anything wrong as far as what he said, except one thing, and I'm going to touch on that first to some extent. Even though that's my interpretation of the message, everybody might not take it the same. Some people just might be like, yeah, I'm not supporting black businesses at all. Because somebody might really interpret it that way, or that might be their take and they might try and piggyback off that, or it might even push them in that direction. So the first thing I'm going to say is we are, as far as black Americans, foundational black Americans, we are black. We come from slavery. We come from, Jim Crow. We come from all this racism. They have tried to hold us back the whole time. They done Black Wall Street. You know all the stuff that they did. The war on drugs. All of this stuff. We're going through things that no other race is going through. So if you have any understanding of that, you should give black businesses a chance. Give black businesses a chance. Now listen, and I'm going to keep it so real with you. That don't mean when you go over and, you see somebody outside the, chicken spot in an apron and he's smoking a blunt, you know what, I'm going to still go in and support even though nah. Fuck that. If I see that, I'm not, you done. You done. You cook. But if the presentation is right, if it look professional and it's black, or better yet, if it's your homie or it's an associate, somebody that go and spend a little bit of dollars, give them a chance. Give them an honest chance. They may be accepting the feedback. They may not be. I don't know. That's to your discretion. But just give them a chance to see if it's good and see if you want to rock with it. If you don't want to rock with it, I'm not about to hold your feet to the fire. But the point that I'm making, if you are black, give them a chance. I'm not about to tell you just to support and just keep support, because we're going to talk about that. We're going to segue into support. My message as far as black businesses is we definitely come from poverty and stuff like that. I don't believe in let them figure it out. No, you call me when you actually figure it out. You start promoting again when you actually figure it out. Because if I go and I have a bad experience at your business, what is going to have to happen is I'm going to have to hear somebody else word of mouth say, oh man, nah, they stepped their shit up. Then I'll go back. But if you leave a sour taste in my mouth, I'm not about to keep supporting you. But again, I think if you were black, and this can apply to all the Jamaican, if you Pan-African, Jamaican, all this stuff like Africa or whatever, and y'all want same thing. If you see a black business, support it. Because at the end of the day, even if you're anything else from the black diaspora, that white supremacy is real. And that, keeping it a bean, black people in America aren't the only ones who have been oppressed to some degree or held back. And I'm going to just leave that there and segue over to support. This segment is going to be a long one, so I may try and find a way to break it up because there are so many aspects of support that I feel the need to touch on. The first thing is just the sheer idea of, and this comes back to the hustle part, people thinking that their business is not succeeding because of support, or the support is going to make their business thrive. if you are relying on support for the sake of support, you have either a bad business or you are horrible at marketing. It's one or the other. Either you can't get people in the door, and even then, I can't say one or the other because your value proposition may be trash. You may be starting a business for something, a service or product, that doesn't have demand. Let me tell you about some shit I absolutely hate. I hate being hustled. There are two types of people who made me hustle proof. The first is the Arab cologne salesman at the kiosk in the mall. Boy, I bought so much off-brand ass cologne. I had to learn how to just ignore the motherfucker and walk past him, not even, bruh, nigga hustled me out my fucking socks, boy. I'm talking about once I first got my car, I was 18 to like probably 20. I was like, bruh, I don't even get this many bitches to have as much cologne as I got. And listen, for that time frame, that's me keeping it a whole G with you. But listen, they used to be, hey, buddy, and boy, they used to hustle me out my motherfucking socks. Had enough one day, and it, bruh, hustle proof. You put me in any mall, any motherfucker at a kiosk, any nigga in the street, bruh, it's not going. With me, it's not going. You're not about to hustle me. No, you can't clean my shoe, dog. We can't eat. Okay, so I gotta be rude to you. I'm out, bruh. I just gotta leave you where you at. Like, it's not happening. Hustle proof, bruh. Hustle proof. When I'm with somebody, and it's typically a chick, and we in some place like NYC, and they be like, get a bag, any bag. And then, like, you know, the chicks want to go and look at the bags. I'd be upset because I'd be like, man, y'all too easily hustle. So with that, that's the first type of person. And notice, not black, Arabic. The other type of person, and trust me, I empathize with these people a lot to some degree, is local rappers at a gas station with a CD pressing you to buy they shit. I even went to a comedy show. Bro. This was it right here, bro. What the nigga did, man, the nigga tried to sell me a CD, and this is a comedian to do music, bro. I had somebody do this to me at a gas station, sold me some shit that was some bullshit, and I'll get to that in a moment. I'm not going to tell that story just for time. But this motherfucker at the comedy show, man, this nigga, he talking about, oh, man, you know, he come up to me like, oh, man, and he got the puppy eyes on and shit like that. I'm like, I'm good, bro. I'm good. I don't need that. You know, like, bro, I need your support. Once I gave him the rejection, that was what he went to. He went, bro, I need your support, bro. Just support a young brother, help a young brother out, da-da-da-da-da. Because I was guilted into it, and because I was young and just wasn't as callous as I am in my mid-30s, right? Because this is before 25 as well. I bought the shit. I paid $5, $10, whatever it was. You know what me and my dude call, like, whack? Because sometimes it's some good local rappers out there, bro. I'm not going to hate on local rappers or just shit on them completely, like, because there are some really good artists that get looked over and stuff like that. But you know what me and my mans call whack-ass fucking CDs from gas station rappers or singers? We call that shit highway food, because both of them shits got frisbeed out the fucking window. And that's hustling / scamming 101, trying to guilt a motherfucker into supporting you. Now, see, that might work on a gullible motherfucker like I was when you face to face and looking him in the eyes. You know when that shit doesn't work? When you on the internet. There's a video. It's two videos, actually. It's Chris Brown on one and R. Kelly in another. Begging for support. Begging for support. I'm not going to get into Chris Brown. It's just a crazy look. But when it came to R. Kelly, he wasn't selling at the time. And he was begging people to support his new freaky ass album. And guess what? That shit didn't really sell. He was down on his money, down on his luck. His career was pretty much winding down. And when artists especially, whether it be local or even in some cases, national recording artists, They can't make the shit shake. They gonna plead for support. They're going to plead for support. And to me, a plead for support, this is what it looks like to me. Hey, what I'm providing, you might not really want that much. And I am not trying to deliver value at a higher level to appease you. I'm not even coming to you to see what you want. But listen, I need money. So please, I'm begging you, give me some money for some shit you barely want. And the biggest contrast to that is value. I've already mentioned it throughout the video. I've mentioned it in this segment. But if you seek to provide the most value, then it's going to be hard for you to not get the business that you deserve for providing as much value as the people actually want. But then outside of that, you have, the marketing and the selling of it. We're not going to get into selling, but like you have to market. You could be providing the most value. Do people know about it? Do people know about it? And that's the thing about the whole support trope and things of that nature. If you're begging for support, that is not good marketing. It just makes you look weak, get more clever, especially in a social media era when the bar is a lot lower and you could really just create content on a page and just keep that going and build that up and then get the momentum and bring in more eyeballs for literally like damn near no money, depending on how much effort you want to put in and running the page yourself or paying somebody else. But the other thing is, if you get to a point where you feel like you have to rely on support or, you need the support, or you're going to have to do that begging call for support and stuff like that, you probably, if the marketing is there, people are aware of what you selling and stuff like that, there is a value issue. Either your competition provides more value or better value than you, or you don't provide enough value as far as, your product or service, or your product or service just isn't valuable to anybody. And that is something that most people overlook when we get to talking about support. Shout out my dog, Ricky Tan from Rush Hour. But listen, we're going to talk about other races very quickly. So there are two things that I want to touch on as far as other races. We'll just go into the first. When it comes to these other races, what people like to say is, oh, Asians support Asian business and Arabs support Arab business and da 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 da. Fam, let's go down. Let's go down and go down to actual play. And we could throw Mexicans in this shit as well, so specifically Mexicans. So one of the first things we're going to look at is that when you look at these demographics, as far as Mexican, I can't even Arab and Chinese. The Mexicans, they'll set up a restaurant. That's one thing that they are known for, setting up a bunch of Mexican restaurants and things like that. When it comes to Arabs and Asians, they set up different types of stores, but universally from coast to coast, they're known for gas stations, corner stores, liquor stores. That's what they are known for. These are commodity-based businesses. Now, we could get into all they get grants because they immigrants and stuff. We could get into all that, but we're not going to get into that because we're not talking about how much easier they have it. We talking about, but they support their business. So when we look at these corner stores and stuff, right, they are selling commodities. Right? So there are two things about that. The first is, fam, they are in your neighborhood. We want, Asians support Asian. Black people support Asian businesses. Black people support, Arab businesses. Black people support Mexican business. That's just what it is. But guess what? It's not exclusive support from us. All the races come through their gas stations, to their corner stores, to their liquor stores, to their restaurants. These are just the facts. So people like to say, oh, man, but the Asians support. Fam, they're not making a living as far as those stereotypical businesses off of other Asians or other like the same demographic. They're making their living off of us. And it's not just a black thing, because I know the food and liquor Lupe Fiasco shit like, oh, it's all in the hood, bro. They be outside the hood too. Like they be in other areas where some white people be. But I'm gonna tell you the difference, and this is just me keeping it real. You're more likely to see a white corner store owner and a white gas station owner in a white area than you are to see a black gas station or corner store owner in a black area. And I don't even want to say that it's because, Arabs and Asians monopolize the market and stuff like that, because I'm going to tell you something, man. In my city, bro, they turned a shut down bank into a liquor store. There's so many opportunities, but no black people want to have that type of business, man. And even then, some of the black people that I know that had those types of businesses, they didn't last for whatever reason. But all that aside, that kills the whole like, oh, the Asians support the Asian business. If they supporting the Asian business, it's because they got something that Asians need in the Asian community, and they're selling it in the Asian community. They're not selling it in the black community, and then they come, bruh, that's just not happening. And then black people say, man, oh man, our money leave our neighborhood so quick and da-da-da-da-da. That's because y'all niggas don't want to open up the businesses that they open up. Y'all niggas want to do motherfucking boutiques and soul food restaurants and either all this passionate shit or all this drug dealer money loitering shit. Like I think I mentioned car washes and stuff like that. But when it comes to the bare necessity shit, which a car wash is a good bare necessity business, but boring shit like laundromats and stuff like that, most black people don't want to open that type of stuff. They want to do the fancy shit. They want to do the $1 million play. Or just the passion, oh yeah, I'm going to open up a lash tech. I'm going to open up a lash business. Like shit like that. I'm going to sell wigs. Which is funny because even with that, you're still in competition with the Asians. But outside of that, what Asian businesses are like Asian people exclusively supporting us, putting Asian people in good business? Like, even, and you could take that for any other demographic, Mexican or Hispanic, whatever the case may be. So that's the first point. The second point that I have to make is something that I heard that I don't necessarily know if it's true, but this is what I've heard. And I've heard this with all three demographics that I've mentioned: Arabs, Asians, and, Mexicans specifically. What they do, they have some people come over in the country, and it'll be like they'll all be the same family, but it won't be like just one nuclear family. It'll be like the whole tree type shit. So they'll have like one or two families in the same crib, right? And they'll be working. They might do if we talking Mexicans, they might do the Home Depot thing, the farming stuff, whatever. What they do, they get together, they pool all their money together. They create a network, right? They all doing the work. They create the network. They go and get another house. Boom. So now we got two houses. The house will be packed full of people. And then boom, we get a third house. More immigrants keep coming up. We keep building on this. Boom, boom, boom. We doing this. We building. Hey, we can pull together and, get this restaurant, get this space, open up a restaurant or do whatever we need to do, whatever business we need to do, a car mechanic spot, whatever it is. Boom, we open up this business. And a lot of the people working there, is our family. And that's what it is. And we run that up for so many years, and then boom, we pass this over. Like, and that's what it is. That's what it is. And even if we get to talking about, the forbidden people that we can't talk about because it's anti-semantics. But when we talk about the Jews, gotta say it like that, the Jews, when we talk about them, they don't do the exact same thing. But what they do is they start up businesses, and the people who own the businesses, other people in the community, they'll be like, yeah, your son could come and work for me. Yeah, he could come and work for me. We help each other get on our feet. All that stuff. Now, this is the real play where the real wealth comes in when we talk about these demographics of people. You ready? You ready? Once they got all these businesses going and all this stuff they've been on, the kids and stuff like that. If you listen to Asian comedians or Asian actors talk about their parents always think they failures and stuff like that. Why? Because the plan is the parents are very strict, and these kids' lives is paved out for them. It's written in stone. They're going to go to college, and they're not going to go to college for the shit that, all the black women is going for, like liberal arts degrees and shit like that. They're going to send them for STEM careers. But let me be more specific. When you go to these fucking doctor, like the hospital or something, like, man, you see so many motherfucking Asians and Indians specifically, but you'll see an Arab somewhere in the mix. You see a lot of that shit. We already know when it comes to the law field, Jews run the law field. That's how come motherfuckers be like, get a Jewish lawyer and stuff like that. But they make sure they send the kids to get these careers, these white collar, high earning careers. That's what they do. They don't give the kids a choice. They don't let the kids be young, wild, and free and do their thing. They put the pressure on them and say, no, this is exactly what you were going to do. You don't have a choice. This is the life you were going to live. I just had a clip the other day, with Earn Your Leisure talking about the AI race and stuff like that. And even for the American companies that we have here, some of the meetings that some of these companies have, and it's all Americans, they'll do the whole meeting in Mandarin because all the people from America or in America that are working for these American companies are Chinese. So what was the purpose of me going down that whole second point? The whole purpose of me going down that second point, and even some of the first point, as far as them getting these boring ass businesses and things like that, what black people think and what they fail to realize, they think that just saying, oh, support black businesses, support, and we just gotta loosely support this nigga's bookstore, or we gotta loosely support this nigga's motherfucking hat embroidery business, or we gotta support, like, they just think that, that's how things are supposed to go, and that's gonna get us somewhere. They think that's going to get us somewhere. It comes down to three things, man. It comes down to three things. Community, right? It comes down to community. Then it comes down to family. Then it comes down to just having a network within those two. The easiest person to build with is a person that you grew up with, which is going to be your brother or sister. That's the easiest person to begin to build with. Your cousin, whatever the case may be. The irony of this is Gilly and Wallo, person we got the video about today, they worked together and they made this, empire out of, the podcast that they doing. But if you have your own circle and y'all all have a plan, like just a tight circle, whether it's your family or whatever, and y'all have a plan, that is going to get you further than just loosely expecting support from strangers. And even if you and one of your associates do something different, y'all not in the same lane, you both are going to have to figure out how to make your businesses shake yourself. But to some degree, you should be thinking about how y'all can help each other in different situations at different points. And when we talk about community as well, let's just pretend you're in some place like San Francisco or something like that. Community, if you, and I don't know how these cities break down. I don't know how San Francisco break down, but let's pretend it got four sides. If you're on the north side, let's just pretend the north side is big as fuck. Your community is not going to extend to the south side. When I say community, I mean the people in very close proximity. You should know some of these people. If you have a business, they should frequent your shit, blah, blah, blah. But let me cut through the bullshit, and let's just pretend we're in a utopian society to where black people do everything that they supposed to do and everything is great. We all in code. We all on the same page, right? The way that it's supposed to work is that I'm a black business owner, right? and the business is going well. But it's not just that the business is going well. I have not just the capital, but I also have the infrastructure as far as a business to either put people on, to put them in positions to where they can build something similar to what I have in another location, in another area, or as far as giving game or just even helping out in whatever way you can, or providing opportunities for other people in the community. In this utopian society, if we talk about that like north side of San Francisco, it should be some everybody knows everybody shit. And if you don't know everybody, well, you're two people away from knowing the person that you need to know. And all the business owners get along and we all good. And, even some of us are trying to break into different industries and things of that nature. Because when we was talking about Jews, right, what is one industry they got on smash? The music industry. They got the music industry on smash. So when you look at that, that would be a perfect society. The issue is culturally, that is just not how it works for Black Americans. I don't even know if it works like that for Africans or Jamaicans or anything like that. I know in Miami, they got the Haitian community and they love each other and stuff like that so much, but I don't know. I don't even know them for having wealth like that. I know them for Kodak Black, if I'm being honest, and the Zoes. But with that being said, like, when we talk about the whole Black diaspora in America, it's like, it doesn't matter where you point to or where you're at, even if you're in blackety black Atlanta or DC, we just don't have a culture similar to those other people that I named, to where, coast to coast, city to city, et cetera, et cetera. This is just what our people do. This is just what our people open up corner stores and gas stations. We don't got that shit, bro. Even if you want to be technical and just get real gutter with it, nigga, we got Crips and Bloods and Vice Lords and motherfucking syrup and twerking and all types of shit. That's what we got from city to city, state to state, et cetera, et cetera. And I would love to give y'all some kumbaya shit on, how we could get better, but I know the truth. I know we cooked. I'm not about to fucking pump fake on this shit. Like, bruh, this is what you do. You worry about you and your family and see if you could let anybody into your network or get into another person's network and things of that nature. But you worry about you and the people closest to you and build with them. If you become somebody who can provide opportunities, you could be like the one dude who I'm not even going to look up right now, that everybody is like, oh, he a coon, he not pro-black, he a coon because he got a white woman. But the motherfucker paid off everybody's tuition, all the boys' tuition, all the men's tuition at a HBCU. The whole graduating class, but he paid off all their tuition. But you talk to these stupid Black motherfuckers, these stupid motherfuckers who get on the internet, who ain't did shit for nobody, probably handed out a turkey or a fucking styrofoam plate or some fucking food to some bums, and they think that they fucking amazing in the community and shit. You talk to these motherfuckers who go and sit at City Hall and talk to a motherfucker, but they ain't never get shit accomplished. And even then, those people, the types of people I just mentioned, those are rare. Those are rare. The average pro-black person is just fucking typing. They just fucking typing. And I'm not about to sit up here and say, oh man, I'm motherfucking part of the Red Sea or no shit like that. I'm not about to do that. But listen, I'm not about to tell a motherfucker or even talk about a motherfucker who paid off a whole fucking graduating class of Black men's tuition. Billionaire, paid it all off, and say that nigga ain't pro-black or he's a coon or Uncle Tom because he got a white woman. You Dr. Umar ass niggas kill me, man. That nigga ain't motherfucking finished that school. He done took all that tuition, man. Niggas just fucking off that tuition. I ain't even about to go that deep, bro. I'm not about to go that deep. But that's it. That's the nigga y'all love. That's the nigga y'all love. And even then, I can't be too mad at him because he not the one who created that idea that if you just have a white woman just forget about you, you can't do no good for none of your people, you're not for your people because of what you're doing with your dick. And listen. That is just one aspect, just 1%, just 1% of why black people we're cooked, bro. We're cooked. Because of shit like that. Like, people will see that shit. And it's mainly black women, but you got some black dudes. Still give this dude scrutiny because of who he decided to marry as a black billionaire. And see, I might do a video one day just about how hard and complex it is being black. And it's not going to be news. Nothing I say in that shit is going to be news to any of y'all. But it's just so funny because we do all this, oh, you support white business, you give white business grace, oh, look at what white people do, look at what the Asians do. No other race has anywhere near the internal dysfunction that we have. And I love us, but that's undeniable. That's undeniable. Like, you got to really think about it. I'm not saying that other demographics don't have internal dysfunction, because they absolutely do to some extent. I'll give you a perfect example. I always tell y'all when it comes to, like, a lot of the dating narratives, a lot of them come from black women, like, oh, fucking the 50-50 discussion. When you look at certain narratives, they are white narratives. And it's a part of the white dysfunction as far as, men and women, we got all this dysfunction going on in the country when it comes to dating. But toxic masculinity. I mean, you could even go with the whole feminist movement that we talk about all the time on here. Like, that's definitely some white shit. And if you know anything when it comes to the Asian community, different countries, they have, like, different types of animosity towards each other to some extent. Some of it is like tongue in cheek, but some of it is like, real palpable and things of that nature. So, yeah, when it comes to other communities and stuff like that, yeah, they do have some issues to some degree. So I'm not saying that they without it, but when it comes to the complexity, like, bruh, black people so crazy. They will diminish your blackness. Nobody's diminishing somebody else's whiteness. Nobody's diminishing anybody. Like, we're the only people, from my understanding, from my knowledge, that do that. And I'm talking about in a real way, not like, oh, you're not a Paisa Holmes, like, not that shit. I'm talking about some real, like, to your essence, to your core. You are not black. You are not, like, just stripping you of your blackness. But I done went on long enough, man. Those are my thoughts when it comes to black business and supporting black business. The only thing that I think he did wrong, he didn't leave any space for giving black-owned businesses a chance as a black person. But at the same time, I think the message was necessary, and I really don't think nothing is wrong with what he actually said for the most part. So let me know your thoughts. I'm gone.